So, my name is Philippe Bellaiche, and I'm showing, the festival is showing this movie, ADVOCATE, that I co-directed with Rachel Lea Jones. Actually, it was my first movie as co-director, as director. And for the last 20 past years, I've been working, and I'm still working as a cinematographer, as a cameraman, camera person in documentary. But I thought that it would be more interesting to talk to you about cinematography, and especially cinematography from the point of view of the cinematographer when you are working in a crew. So the question that comes with that is, what exactly am I doing when I'm filming a documentary with a director? Am I his eyes? Or am I a mediator? Someone that needs to mediate in images what he wants? Am I just a technician making focus and pretty images? Actually, I don't think so. I don't think that our role is to do pretty images. So if so, what am I doing? And what I'm doing, I think, and I want to speak about that, I think that the people holding the camera are shaping as much content as form. And I will show you a few clips of different movies where I will try to explain to you my approach, not in a theoretical way, but in a very practical way. And it will have to do with my position physically, where am I when things are happening and I'm filming, capturing them with the camera, but also my ontological position, where am I at this very moment? Am I in the present or am I somewhere else? So, just to make some clarity in what I'm talking, what I'm going to talk is by and large what people call observational documentary. Now, there's a very wide range of observational documentary. But let's just I will give you just a precision about what I call documentary. So I read a scholar saying something very true, saying, okay, a fiction movie is when the public is watching the film and he knows that nothing is real. And documentary is when you see a movie, just like the images that we saw, and we say, wow, this is life. This is a good definition of documentary if we think not about the way we're making them, but the way that they are received. And what is the agreement between the filmmaker and the audience? When people see and say, oh, this is life as it is, it's a documentary. Now, in this field of observational documentary, I had the chance to film movies where that can be completely just observational or interactive. Now, I would define three kinds of documentary. There will be the direct cinema. There will be the cinéma vérité, and there will be the reflexive documentary. So the direct cinema will be a situation where we, the filmmakers, we will come, film social actors, people living their life, and we will tell them, just do as if we're not here. Okay? This is direct cinema. We'll define cinema verite, where you say to people, okay, we're here, but just do your thing. You can address to us because we're present, but the movie is not about us. So just do your thing. And another genre of documentary would be the interactive, more the reflective documentary, where we will go to film people and tell them, look, we're making a movie about you, and you can speak about that. And even if you don't speak about that, we will speak about that we are right now making a movie about you. So this is the wide range of the movies that I had the chance to film in my career as cinematographer. But what I can find as a common denominator is that my work will still be observational. So I want to show you first a clip, from a movie that I've been filming in Israel with a film director called Duki Dron, and the film is showing 8 different kids on their way to school or back. Okay? Of course, the director has chosen very well the cast. There are kids living in the city, kids living in villages. There are rich kids from rich family, from poorer family, religious, secular, Jews, Arabs. Of course, there was already a plan. And what I would like to show you is that also in the way I filmed them, I also induce something on the way you will relate to them. So I will show you how the camera work, help you to understand their place much more than their social context. So I will show you first the first clip.
كلاب سعيد الدنيا كلنا. كلاب سعيد الدنيا كلنا. كذي كلاب سعيد. الله عور الحين صار ينبح. اليوم ناخذ العير على الساد نطيب اليوم مش طعيش لم يشح. تسقيه نركب علينا إياه كان طبع شري ناعف طبع لكن ناعف بس. بعت دوابكم. الزلطان حطيت لهن أكل الصبح. والله ما بدري. قول لي متى بعتم عزاكم؟ ثلاث نهار. كيف كيفت؟ ونص ريحتك. ها؟ عبد الله طبج الصراحة. ترتع والبهم. في على الموضوع. أول مرة كأنه برجمين هنا مش مقاعد. ليش تروح هيك؟ أما شارك. شارك. رق نت. أنا ماني مروح. أنا أطفن. فهدي. إيش عندهم يدمرون؟ تلفنا.
מקווה שהצילומים של השמיניה לא יתחילו עדיין בתוך הפסטיגל. החזרות בחיפה מתחילים מסוף השבוע הבא, ואחר כך יש לך 60 הופעות מתוך ה-110.
אמא,
מה?
99. זה 99.
זה 99.
מתי מקבלים את הכסף, אמא?
כבר קיבלנו את רובו.
אבל אמרת שמקבלים עוד, 2.
בשבועיים הקרובים, לפי דעתי צריכים להגיע 2 הצ'קים האחרונים.
ואת תביא לי אותה?
אני אכניס לחשבון הבנק שלך.
אבל תביא לי קצת.
משהו סמלי את תקבלי.
כמה?
מה?
כמה?
אם את צריכה משהו מסוים, נדבר
אבל את
עליו.
לא מסכימה לי לקנות משהו מסוים, כי זה עולה הרבה כסף.
נכון, מאיה, זה שיש לך כסף שלך, זה לא אומר שזה בזבוז מוחלט.
לא אמרתי בזבוז מוחלט, אבל עדיין, יש דברים מסוימים שאני רוצה ואת לא קונה. ואני לא קונה.
הנגן שאת מדברת עליו, כבר קיבלת אחד, נכון? קיבלת את החלק.
אבל הוא לא אותו דבר.
בסדר, אז זה גם עם קליפים, בסדר. אין, אבל זה כל פעם יוצא משהו חדש. אין לזה סוף, מאיה, וזה אלפים. אני לא קונה כל חצי שנה נגן חדש.
So, the girl in the car. In terms of proximity, the camera is very close to her. Actually, the camera is really, really close to her. The camera is really, really close to her, and It's not only because we're in the car, it's one of my way to film. If I want to be close, I'm physically very close. Despite the fact that the camera is very close, we still feel very far from her. We feel alienated from her. And maybe this alienation that we're feeling is relating the alienation that she's feeling from the world. So I'm asking myself, how does it come from? And I think that it comes from the fact that there's only one POV. The camera doesn't change POV. It doesn't show her from different angles, and even less show us her POV. The fact that the camera does not move, it's the subtext of the shots of the scene is not that we are with her, but that we're next to her, that we're observing her. The subtext is not I'm a girl, but rather I'm with a girl, or here is a girl. The fixed camera doesn't create closeness or intimacy. On the contrary, it puts the viewer in an observing point, which even allow the viewer to have some judgment about her. I will call this kind of filming watching the football game from the stands. You know, just like you're going and you see the players and they're there. And now if you see the boys in the desert, so in terms of documentary, those kids are filmed in the most traditional way. They are in their natural space and in the space that they're inhabiting. But if you think of the way it's filmed, then the camera or I'm filming them and I'm filming their point of view. And I'm filming them and I'm filming what they're looking. And this way of filming, I believe, creates much more easiest way for the viewers to feel close to them and to feel with them. So I will call this way of filming running with the football players, looking at the football players, looking at the ball, but being with them. And if I look at the third clip, the girls on foot, then in terms of subjectivity, the camera emulates her movements. It's almost that the camera is her. And I think that you can feel her solitude, but look at the moment when the boy is sticking his face in the camera. So I let the boy harass the camera, just as maybe if I was not there behind her, he would have harassed her. It would have been easy to push him away or anything, but I was so much wanting to be like her that when the boys came, I just let him do his thing. So this is not running with the football players, it's almost being one of the football players with the camera. So of course, to be able to do those choices when you are a team member with a director, it happens because Duki Dro, the director of this film, is someone I've been working in many films, more than 10 films in the course of the last 15 years. And of course we have kind of complicity and trust that he will let me do as I feel. The next clip I want to show you is coming from from a film from another director. His name it's also an Israeli director. His name is Avi Mograbi. And Avi Mograbi has making movies which are almost a genre on its own. And what he likes to do is to show the act of filming. He will. It's a movie on the other side of the spectrum where the act of filming is part of the film. And it's so much like this that in the last movie that he's made, he is in the films as the filmmaker. And more, I am present also in the movie as the camera person. So this is the setup. We usually work with two cameras. One camera is fixed, either on a tripod or mounted on a car. And the second camera is in my hands, and I'm operating it. What I will talk about are the part of that I'm shooting that comes in a way to complement and complicate what Avi is doing. The clip is coming from a movie called Once I Enter a Garden, and it's about a man, a Jewish Israeli filmmaker called Avi Mograbi, the same, who in search of his Syrian Lebanese roots turned to his Arabic teacher. His Arabic teacher is Ali Al-Azari, who is a Palestinian citizen of Israel. So I know that we are very far away from Israel-Palestine, but you should know that on this little piece of land, there are two nations, Jews and Palestinians, who are fighting for the place, and up to now. And Ali has spent most of his adult life living in Tel Aviv, and he's married to a Jewish woman, from whose he fathered a daughter, Yasmin, who is also in the movie. In the movie, Avi and Ali are looking for places where they will shoot a future movie that has never been shot. I will show you the first clip.
אהלן יסמין, מה העניינים?
איך הוא מצלמת יסמין? אותי לא מצלם בכלל.
כן, אתה לא מעניין.
יש מצלמה.
מחפשים אנשים מעניינים, לא מחפשים אנשים סתם.
אותך צילמו מלא.
מלא. יסמין, ג'וען יאבא? בואו אני אקח מנה חומוס גדולה, כן?
כן.
בבית נאכל, נשים את הבירה ונעבוד, טוב?
נראה לי הכי טוב.
יופי, אז חוסכים זמן.
רציתי לשאול, אמרו לי שיכול להיות שיהיה לי איזה תפקיד בסרט, אז איזה תפקיד יש סיכוי?
את בתפקיד יסמין. הוא בתפקיד עלי.
דבר ראשון, אני יודעת שזה לא תפקיד גדול, זה בסדר.
ועלי
לא יודעים,
זה תפקיד גדול.
את תקראי את הגודל של התפקיד שלך
מה
באיזשהו
זאת אומרת, אני כבר.
בואי אני אגיד לך, אני אסביר לך קצת מה אנחנו עושים.
יופי, תגיד, תסביר.
הסרט זה סרט, מה שקוראים סרט תיעודי, כן?
כן.
שהוא מתעד את הדברים שקורים באמת, זה לא איזה מין סיפור שממציאים אותו.
כן, זה אבל בגלל שאני ילדה לא יהיה לי הרבה מה לעשות, כי זה סרט תיעודי על הערבים ויהודים.
אבל יסמין, את גם מדברת עברית ואני מקנא בך שאת מדברת ערבית.
מקנא.
בחיי.
השתפר אצלך המצב.
השתפר קצת. אבל הערבית שלך פי 1000 יותר טובה משלי, את גם כותבת.
שזו שפת אם שלי.
נכון?
יסמין, זה סרט שעושים אותו לאט.
أنا بعرف كل الأفلام هيك بيعملوا شوي أما أنا بعرف إنه عشان أنا بنت صغيرة ما بقدرش أعمل كتير.
لا مش دايما أنت بدك تيجي كل مرة لما نصور، لا بس انا بعرف شو بكون وظيفتي، حد هسه ولا ابي بيعرف شو وظيفته. فهمت؟ هذا عشان هيك انا
خلي معك عشان
بدك تيجي معي؟ يلا هون بنفوت عند زيكا نجيب حمص وشيء ونضل راجعين نروح على الدار. يا الله. طب
אתה יודע ערבית?
אני קצת,
زكان
כן.
שיר גם מזקן, לא?
כן, כן.
אוקיי. יאללה. נתראות.
מה זה הדבר הפרותי הזה?
זה מיקרופון.
כאן הוא קולט את
סוט,
הכל.
סוט.
לדעתי הבעיה עם לחיות בתל אביב זה הגזענות. נגיד, בבית ספר שלי, רוב כיתה הם גזענים.
באיזה שפה מדברים בבית ספר?
עברית. לומדים ערבית, אבל לא משהו מיוחד. לומדים להגיד את המילה מרחבה, אבל אפילו מרחבה הם לא אומרים, הם אומרים מרחבה, שאם הם יגידו את זה לערבי הוא לא יבין.
אז למה את אומרת שהם גזענים?
הם כל הזמן מתנהגים, הם אומרים שהם גזענים אפילו. אומרים את זה בהסעה. זה די מעצבן, אבל עד איזה מחצית שנה מהשנה שעברה לא גיליתי על אבא שלי. עד שילדים התחילו לגלות ולהבין איך אני מדברת ערבית וזה. הכיתה שלי בסך הכל קיבלה את זה בסדר, אבל כיתות אחרות לפעמים עושות דברים לא נעימים. חוץ מזה, אני נורא אוהבת גאדג'טים וכאלה.
הוא התנהג יפה?
Okay. I liked it to see that you were smiling and laughing. So what the charm of this filming is that all unfold under your eyes. You can see it. Now, there's something interesting happened during this clip. What happened was something unplanned. Avi and Ali, who are sitting in the front of the car, but also sitting in the front of the film, the movie is about them, suddenly they left the car. They left the movie. And I stayed with Yasmin. And then Yasmin took center stage. A small role in the movie, suddenly she was there. Took central stage and said to the camera what she thought that the camera wanted to hear, or what she thought that Avi, the director, would have liked her to say. And what I'm thinking is, why I'm showing it to you is because I want you to reflect, how is it that during all the time that they were in the car, she didn't look once to the camera, but the moment that the director left, then immediately she turned to the camera. Imagine this similarity with a mirror. When you're with people and there's a mirror in the room, you're not likely to look at yourself in the mirror. Or if you do it, you will have a glance, but it's not something that you're doing when you're accompanied with people. It's taboo to look at yourself. So the camera is the same. When the director is present, then it's easier to forget the camera. The moment that the director left, then I became the director, and then she addressed to me and spoke. Now, this scene made me understand how is it that in the scene that you saw in the first clip of the girl in the car, she also never looked at me. And I know that it happened because I was not alone. Was I alone, then it would have taken a lot of time maybe you know, days before she would have forgot the camera. What happened is that there was a director, and the director is the center spot of the protagonist, and the camera has to be invisible. It has a lot to do with the way the people, the crew, the people behind the camera is conducting himself, being almost invisible. As how you do that? You just make yourself small, okay, and let stage for the director to take place. So what I wanted to show you here is that even in this kind of movie, where the director say, "Fuck off! I don't want to play the game of direct cinema. I'm making a movie. I'm going to talk about it, etc." The cameraman still has to keep in its place and stay in the place of the observer. So I want to show you another clip of the same movie, and I will talk a little bit about it, and we will stop there.
הנה פה נולטריני זה הרצפה.
וואלה?
כן.
אל תצעק.
תמים, זה הרצפה. תמים, זה. אני חושב שזה.
אבא, זה איפה זה?
والله نولدتي بمقام يفا ما نجي لها. ولدت بمحل كتير حلو. هون اسمين أشكرة هون تحت فرق الجوال. هون جينا بالمرات اللي فاتت. هون كانت دارنا.
وين؟
وكانوا هون 3 غرف. هون بالضبط هاي المحل. هون بعرفش بالضبط 100%، اما هون كانت الدار وهون انا ولدت ياسمين. هون المحلات هاي امي ولدتني. ايش المستشفى؟ انا شو غير مثل بنتي.
אתם יכולים לבוא!
זה העולם. אסור לבן אדם להיות חלש בעולם הזה. אסור. מוחצים אותו. זה הטבע. מי שחלש, מוחצים אותו.
כן. תמים הוא תכף יזהה את האדמה. הוא יזהה את האדמה. זה סוג של אדמה שתיארו לי איך עשו את היציקה. تميم مكان هاكل اشتنا لما كنت ولد صغير مش قادر اسا يعني تقول تتذكر منظر اشي تله
لا راح
ولا اشي على الاطلاق شيء ابدا.
تعرف احسن نروح لهذا
كمان نشوف امكانيه اخرى.
اه
هذا الشجر جديد تميم. هذا الشجر جديد معناته هذا من بعد ما ولدت ياسمين زرعوه. هذا طلع تميم بنمو بسرعه هذا الشجر. اذا مسحوها وعملوا عملوا ملاعب بحل هذا الشيء.
אני חושבת שצריך לרדת.
اوكي بوني نصحى. هوبس تعال. عين كنيسة لازارين. كان عين كنيسة شتى خطرتي مشاب ציפורי. גן זה מיועד לתושבי מושב ציפורי בלבד.
מה? אסור לנו להיות כאן.
تعال
אבא, לא!
בוא תסריט משהו יפה. בוא אבי תקרא.
גן זה מיועד לתושבי מושב ציפורי בלבד, אין כניסה לזרים.
אני זר נכנס. هذه الحديقة مخصصة لسكان مشاب صفورية فقط. لمربيها إيرونيا كتبوا مشاب صفورية. شخخوا لي خطوة ציפורי. هذه الحديقة مخصصة لسكان مشاب صفورية فقط دخول الغرباء ممنوع بتاتا. قبل الملاء الغرباء كتبوا زي بشقيقات كتاب كتبوا الفرباء.
אני רוצה ללכת מכאן.
ראיתם שלט כזה בארץ? טורחים לכתוב לתושבים הערבים. זאת אומרת שלא יבואו לשחק על שרידי בתיהם ואדמותיהם. אז אולי זה היה פה הבית. ומה זאת אומרת זרים? מי זר? היו להם צרות בעולם, באירופה, אז צריך ביחד לגור. לגור ביחד, לא להגיד זרים, כדי שיהיה שלום אמת.
די! צריך לעוף מכאן.
ليش يابا؟
אסור לנו להיות.
يابا بدك تروحي؟ You listen what you said? بابي تعال يابا تعال. بدك تروح عند تميم؟ مين؟ شوي يابا ابعد عن الشارع. بابي بابا
לא, יסמין באוטו.
تروح عند تميم؟ انا جاي معك يابا. ياسمين ياسمين بابي رحت عمو تميم. تعال يابا تعال. تعال يا حبيبتي تعال. اعطيني ايدك يابا.
שאסור לנו להיות פה ושאנחנו יכולים להיות בכלא.
احنا ممنوع احنا نكون هون. اللي بكتبوه مش إلك يابا ولا إلي.
אסור ללכת.
لا يابا.
כנסי לאוטו ונלך, נאסוף את תמים ונלך.
لا ما فيش كده.
علي
بابا حبيبتي لا بكون ممنوع مشان انا بحكي لك لانه بيجوا هون بابا ناس لهم ذكريات مثلي كثير في عائلات من صفوري ساكنين بالناصر بحافظ الصفافره. اهل صفوري اللي كانوا ساكنين هون لحد ال 48 يبعدوا عنهم وميت.
תחליט האיסור, אתה יודע לקרוא?
مكتوب تخليط ايسور؟
כן.
كتب היה בעברית تخليط ايسور؟
זה לא משנה, אני לא נוח לי.
انت لازم تشوف هاي الأرمة.
אני לא נוח לי אם יסמין זה מלחיץ אותה. בואו
تعال يا
ניכנס
بطل.
וניסע.
עם מה?
אם זה מלחיץ אותה.
אתה יודע מה? לא, אני רוצה... תמים חייב לראות את זה.
تمي ياسمين רוצה שתמי יורד את השלט. تعال.
מושבניקים ראו
تعال
אותנו.
ياسمين بدي افرجيك الارما. في ارما عاملين
אל תגיד לו.
اوكي بدي افرجيك ارما ياسمين تعال.
مكان خاص. مشاب صفورية. هذه الحديقة مخصصة للسكان مشاب صفورية فقط. دخول شو؟
الغرباء كتبوها بالغلط.
الغرباء ممنوع بتاتا.
بتاتا.
וואו, יורד גשם.
אני לא יודע אם זה המקום להגיד איזה משפטים היסטוריק, שמשהו מסוג ה-historic statement.
בואו, מתחזק הגשם, בואו ניכנס ונעשה סיבוב
אני
במכונית.
לא.
מה היא אומרת?
אני לא.
זה כל כך...
تميم مشيت لقدام انت قدرت تشخص اشي؟ تشخص اشي قدرت تتعرف على اشي؟ ابدا كله نفس المنظر.
So we have an unfolding drama, right, in this scene, with multiple protagonists and multiple focal points. And since the director is one of the protagonists, then it's up to the camera person and then the editor to make the story. The editor is the director. So it begins with a quoted shot of cast and crew arriving on the scene, and then it moves to a standard observational documentary of the father and the daughter going on the route. And then it continues with the reverse shot of the uncle standing by the director, in a sense behind the camera. It's just like they're behind the scene, commenting on the scene of the movie. The statement of the uncle is bombastic, if you remember. This is the world. If you're weak, you are crushed. He doesn't pretend that the camera is not there. He's saying it because he feels that the camera comes to him, and he feels the need to have a comment on what he's seeing, but what we were seeing. And of course, it's very different from the natural way that Ali and his daughter were acting as if the camera was not there. So we moved from the direct cinema, where the camera was not there, to cinema verite, where the protagonists know that the camera is there, and what he's saying it almost to the camera, or to the director holding the microphone. In the next moment, the protagonists, including the director, enter the garden, and the person who's take the dramatic lead is Yasmin. And then the camera privileged her because she became the center. And Avi, the interactive director who brought all those people here, suddenly feel uncomfortable with the discomfort that he provoked to the little girl, and he wanted, these ethics are more important than his sense of drama, and he wants to live, as you saw. And that's also become a situation that I have to film, that I'm filming. When the three exit the garden, I stay. And I stay, and there I move to what I told you at the beginning as watching the football game from the stands. I give myself, but I give you also some distance to reflect on what just happened. So I let go the POV to this position from the stand. I'm not running with the football player anymore. I'm taking distance. At this moment, I'm the audience. I'm thinking of you. It's this position that let you have, at the end of this scene, note that you've been living in part, a moment to reflect. So you saw in this scene the three ontological positions which are also physical positions that I talked to you at the beginning. And I believe I need to end, so I'm going to end here. For anyone who would like to watch documentary, but for anyone who wants to do documentary and he's holding the camera, I think that to think in these three ways, looking from the stands, running with the players, watching them and watching the ball, or being one of the players, are very good tool to understand at every moment that you're filming where your camera should be. And if you come see ADVOCATE, of course you will be able to recognize also those three different positions